Hi everyone, I'm here with Erin and we are going to start our Facebook cooking demo tonight. Hopefully some of you guys are online, and if you are, if you could please say that you can hear us and that you can see us.
We got one person on so far, two.
Do they respond?
Can you hear us and see us? Or see Shayda?
Well, yeah, you'd have to turn the camera around in order for them to see you. It sometimes takes a little while.
I can hear you, says Lisa.
Can you see me, Lisa? Did she say yes? No?
I can see you too.
Oh, perfect. So
Nice.
Let's get started. Hi, everyone. So thank you for joining us this evening. Before we start, as a lot of you know, that I went on that healthy vegan cruise, the Holistic Holiday at Sea cruise. And I've had a few people contact me and ask me about the food on the ship and how did I navigate UWL style on the ship. Well, let me tell you, it wasn't hard. There's plenty of food. Now, are they well trained about the oil portion of it? No, so you're gonna have to be cautious when navigating through the lines and all that. So what they have is during lunch, they have a whole section in the back of the ship where it's all vegan. It's all the vegan food for all of us, right? And they try their best to say whether there's oil or no oil in there. At times I noticed, because I'm anal, I had to ask a lot of questions, and just by visually looking at it, I saw that some of the stuff, even though it said no oil, but when you touched it, like some of the, sometimes with the steamed vegetables, you touched it and there was oil on there. And it was actually really funny because this one lady was standing in front of me and I asked her, I said, could you taste that? Because she was eating everything, so I knew she wasn't oil free. And I said, could you eat that and see if it's got any oil on there? And she did, and she goes, oh, it's just a little bit. And I said, yeah, that's just a little bit too much. And she goes, oh, so you're a purist. And I'm like thinking, a purist? I'm like, no, I just choose not to have oil, so thank you so much. It's one of my, non-negotiables. So you really do have to be cautious. And some of the vegan foods that they were making had a lot of nuts and seeds in there. So when you cook with a lot of the nuts and seeds, it's going to convert and it's going to melt and it's going to become oily, and it was just like no good. My other problem was with some of the stuff that they said that had no oil in there was the broth they were using. So Erin, as well as I do, what if they didn't use vegetable broth that had no oil in there? A lot of times broth has oil, and I don't really think they went out of their way to make it oil free for us. So I was afraid that some of the stuff may have oil in there, so I wasn't touching the soups and I wasn't touching a lot of the stuff. Now you're gonna say, well, what the heck did I eat in those 10 days that I was there? So you have to navigate. And what I mean by that is there was plenty of raw salads. Raw vegetables, raw salads, all of that was fine. There was a lot of fresh fruit. So worst case scenario, I told myself that when I go on this cruise, what am I gonna eat? I'm gonna eat a lot of fruits and I'm gonna eat a lot of raw salads, and I've done that before and I can do it for 10 days. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to starve eating just fruits and vegetables. There's people that are really starving in Africa and God knows where, even here in California. But you know what? I wasn't starving eating just fruits and vegetables. Do I want some starch? Of course you want some starch. Now, some nights you found beans. Sometimes you found white rice. White rice, I typically found it at night. So I had white rice, which is, I don't mind eating white rice. I know some people don't want to eat rice, but hey, when you've got no other options and you want some food, you're going to eat it. So was it difficult? No. I'm not going on a trip because of the food. I'm going on this trip because I want to go to the different ports and I want to go sightseeing and I want to go and enjoy myself. I'm not making food be the center of, the focus of my trip. And you know what? It's okay to be a little bit comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's going to happen to us. So was it hard? Honestly, no. When you go in with the mindset that, listen, if there's nothing else to eat, you're going to eat fruits and salads and be happy and go with it, hey, guess what? You're going to be fine. But you do have to navigate to the other side because like at night I would go to the other side, which wasn't the vegan side, and guess what? One night they had a big tray of baked potatoes. But herein lies the problem. They had taken those baked potatoes and they had put it in oil. Like the bottom of the pan had oil in it, which I never understood why they did that. So I asked the gal behind the chef and I said, listen, do you have any more baked potatoes in the back that are not sitting in the oil? And she goes, yeah. And I said, can I get some? And she goes, well, how many do you need? I said, oh, I don't know, 4 or 5. I figured I might as well, like, stock up, right? Because the next day we were going out on an excursion and we weren't going to get food all day long. So I went, she brought me like 5 potatoes and they were good sized potatoes. And then so I went back and Michelle was at the table and I told Michelle Vakili, and I'm like, hey, go up there. Or maybe she told me about the potatoes and then I told someone else about the potatoes. And I'm like, whoever we saw that was part of our group, we would tell them, go over there and ask for her to get you potatoes from the back. So that's what we had to do. Now I know AJ brought potatoes with her. She put them in her suitcase. She had baked them at home and she had put them in her suitcase and she traveled with them. So you could do that as well. But honestly, guys, go out, enjoy yourself. Don't make it about the food. There was plenty of fruits and salads and it really wasn't that big of a deal. I hope I've answered the questions. Is there any more questions about the vegan holistic cruise? Because I'm probably going to go back on it again because I really enjoyed the speakers. The speakers were phenomenal this year. The speakers were fantastic. There was a great group of people. So anybody asking anything or comments?
Anybody have a question about the cruise?
Or how to navigate?
What did you use on your salad? Did you just eat it
They
plain?
had balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
So they had salad dressings and they said it was oil free, but I'm not sure if it truly was oil free, and I don't know if it was nut free. So I just stuck with the balsamic vinegar, and that was good enough for me.
Julie Hicks says, woohoo, Scott and I are signed up again.
Are you, Julie? I'm sure you navigated just fine through the through the food as well. Yeah, that's fantastic. It really is a fun cruise.
Did you find that just eating fruits and vegetables drained your energy, or did you feel like you still had enough energy to
No, I'm the girl
do all the sightseeing?
No, I had lots of energy. I was completely fine. And you know what? When you have fasted for 8 days at True North, trust me, you've got a lot of energy eating fruits and salads. So you're going to be fine. So no, it worked for me. For me, it was really good. Like I said, most nights I did find steamed rice. Some nights I found beans. And what we would do on those nights that we would find potatoes or beans and like the extras, we would take more of it and save it for the next day. And because we had little refrigerators in our cabins. Mm-hmm. Granted, there was a lot of crap that they filled it with, but it was still enough. There was plenty of room that you could put things in there. So if there was beans one night, if there was potatoes, if there was whatnots, I would just go and get a big bowl of it and save it for the next day and take it to the next meal. I hardly ever went to the sit-down dinners because when I did go, their oil-free options truly wasn't oil-free because it had a lot of nuts in there. And then I remember one night I asked for a big plate of steamed broccoli. Okay, so my idea of a plate of broccoli is like you get a plate like this size and I wanted like amount of broccoli, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so their idea of a lot of broccoli was literally 6 tiny little florets. Mm-hmm. I'm like going, seriously, who is this going to feed? And then I asked for some baked potato that night, and they brought me these tiny little potatoes. I was happy with the potatoes, but I packed up and went upstairs and got a big salad because 6 little florets, it's not going to do it.
Yeah, that's not enough.
So.
All right, any other questions about the cruise?
If not, we'll get cooking.
All right. So what are we making today?
Well, what we're going to make is a dish that typically calls for a lot of oil and stuff. It's an eggplant tomato spread. And what you do typically is you take your tomatoes and you roast them in the oven. And you take your eggplants and you roast them in the oven. So what I've done is there was 5 eggplants and I have already taking the seeds out and taking the flesh out and everything. So I was going to show you how I did that. And it's pretty simple. You're just going to slice this in half. Spread it open. That just sounded really bad. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to be. And then you're just going to take it out. And you're going to put it in here.
So you take everything except for the skin?
Right. So you don't want to put the skin in there. I mean, if a little bit of the skin gets in there, it gets in there. But the skin is too rough. So you don't want that in there.
What kind of eggplants are these?
They're the bigger, fatter ones. They're not like the Japanese that are the long, skinny ones. So they're the fat ones.
How long did you bake these for?
You know, these were in the oven for probably almost 2 hours because I really wanted them roasted. If you have a barbecue, I would highly recommend that you do this in the barbecue because the barbecue gives us a beautiful, beautiful flavor. And it's really, really nice. So you just mix everything in here.
And Tracy wants to know how long and what temperature did you bake it at?
So this was, because I did both of these at the same time, it was in convection for, I believe, 420, right around there. And then what you want to do is with the potatoes, you're going to take your potatoes, cut them in half. You're going to turn them upside down and roast it. And then you're going to take it and then you're going to flip it so you can make sure that both sides get roasted. And you want to take a lot of the black off. But if some are in there, like I personally don't care if some of it's still in there.
And you cooked them in the oven together?
Yeah, I did because I wasn't going to make two things of it. So then we're going to take these and slice them because everything's going to go in the food processor. Any questions? Anybody have anything? I have some exciting announcement that I'm waiting for. I'm hoping that our guest, someone special, is going to be online. Have he shown up online yet?
Not that I've seen, but I don't know how to see everybody.
If you go up, it'll tell you, yeah.
Because I can see comments.
You can see.
He hasn't commented.
He hasn't commented. Okay, so I have a special announcement coming up towards the end of this about my upcoming cooking class. If you're in Southern California, I'm gonna have a cooking class on Sunday, April 28th at my house at 11 o'clock. It's gonna be a Mother's Day brunch class with a special guest. I'm collaborating with someone that most of you are gonna be familiar with. So we're gonna take this and add it to our eggplant mixture. Okay, don't these tomatoes smell good? Like I could eat roasted tomatoes just like this, honestly. If you guys don't know who I'm talking to, I am talking to the lovely, lovely Erin Schatz, my buddy who comes and helps me to videotape all this. So thank you, Erin, for...
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, from coming from work. Couldn't do it without her.
My mom's on. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
She says, can you put it in a blender instead of a food processor?
Well, it depends on what kind of blender. Like a Vitamix, just make sure that it doesn't get too watery because we're just wanting to pulse it. And if you want, you don't even have to put it in the blender. You could take your knife and just cut it.
Oh, okay.
Cut it through, but it just takes...
For a thicker version of it?
Exactly.
Sherry says, hi, beautiful Shayda.
Aw, hi, sweetheart.
Hi from Australia, from Juliana.
Australia. God, I've always wanted to go to Australia. One of these days I'm going to get there. Okay, so we're going to take this and move over, and we're going to put it in the food processor. Now, I have a Breville sous chef. It's a 16-cup food processor. This bad boy does everything, I tell you. It is one of the best food processors I have ever had.
Where did you get it?
My favorite place, Bed Bath & Beyond.
I was going to guess.
And guess what? Use your 20% coupon. right?
Yeah, I need to get one of these.
It really, this is, I don't know if you can take a picture of this, but this is all the gadgets that come with it. Like, it has its own carrying case, you know?
There's a lot of things you can do with that.
Oh, yeah. And trust me, I still haven't tried everything yet.
And you said this is a traditional recipe?
Yeah. Yeah. This is like making hummus.
Okay.
A different version. Or there's another version called borani that's got like onions and oil and garlic, and we are going to be adding onion powder and garlic powder. And in the different Middle Eastern regions, they make something very similar. We all have a little different take on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no really right or wrong. It's mostly your taste, what you like.
And it smells so good in here.
And I was telling Erin, this tastes a lot better when it's a little bit cold, like in the refrigerator, like after it has chilled. So we're going to just pulse this a little bit.
People want you to post on your food processor, and they want the name and model number.
Okay.
I will get that for you, Mom.
Is that Mom that wants it?
But Sherry wants you to post about it.
Okay, so you see the consistency. It's not really, you just want it a little bit like a spread.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're basically done. Now we're going to take this.
Deborah Levine says, hi, Shayda.
Hi, Deborah. How's it going at True North? She's fasting at True North. I give her a lot of kudos to her. 30 days, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 30 days.
30-day water fast?
30-day water fast.
Wow. Way to go, Deborah.
Seriously, way to go, Deborah. Deborah was with us on the Vegan Holistic Cruise. It was really a lot of fun seeing a lot of the UWL people on the cruise. And I'm excited about 2021. They're going to Alaska.
Nice.
I have always wanted to go to Alaska. And what better way to go with a vegan cruise?
Yeah.
And awesome speakers.
Yeah, Alaska would be fun.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deborah says she's doing great. 2 exclamation points.
I wonder, Deborah, what day are you on your fast? I think somebody else is there too. VG is there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, VG's in True North as well.
So, Deborah said the cruise was a lot of fun.
See?
Tracy said, "Do you put it on potatoes, veggies, or rice, or all three?"
We're gonna get to that. So here's something that I love from Savory Spice. Actually, those of you that are at True North right now, it's only a mile